Hey everybody, Tyler here at the Evince Cafe. If you know anything about Evince, you've heard us talk about the limits of a syntax-based approach to accessibility. What we mean by that is that a computer can only go so far just reading the code of a site or app. It has to do something else too. Stay tuned, and I'll show you what. Imagine you're writing a letter to the Queen of England. Naturally, you run a spell checker on it. The problem is, your letter could be incredibly insulting or wrong in some other way. But since it's spelled perfectly, your spell checker won't tell you. And off you go to the post office. Legacy accessibility checkers are a lot like spell checkers. They read your code and are very good at finding things that are missing, like alt tags for an image. But what if there's nothing missing, per se, from your code? What if you used a generic HTML element in a new way? What if you used the wrong HTML tag, but, so to speak, spelled it perfectly? At that point, you need a tool that doesn't just read your code. You need one that understands it. Let's look at an example. If you are a sighted person, you just need one look to know that that thing with the white outline box is a button. There are visual cues that help you understand that. But most accessibility checkers don't have any idea of those visual cues. So here they'd read the div tag and note that it's implemented without any obviously missing or malformed attributes. All set, right? No. Problem is, assistive technologies like screen readers absolutely need to know if this is a button. It turns out they need to understand your code too. Fortunately, Evince does. Evince uses a proprietary kind of computer vision to analyze the UI of a given web page and understand all the context on it. We can automatically recognize a button regardless of what HTML you use to produce it. And since we know it's supposed to be a button, we can tell that it's not going to work for keyboard users or screen reader users. For example, at the very least, there's an ARIA label missing here. But the percentage play is to use a button tag instead of a div. By the way, if this seems like a small point, it's not. These kinds of bugs are exactly the ones that completely block a screen reader user, or a keyboard user, or maybe a voice control user from using your site. And before Evince, you had to find these manually, by going through the site with a screen reader, keyboard, or voice control software. That's still a good idea, but it's not practical to do for every build or even release. You need an automated tool that can find this kind of problem. You need a tool that understands. And the Queen of England will thank you. That's all for today, folks. See you next time right here at the Evince Cafe.